Tester for GeekyKOOL.com, and I'm here with Jeffrey Vorhees, who played Alex Kintner in Jaws, and he has the world famous death scene. How are you doing, Jeffrey?
I am doing good considering I've been dead for 50 years. I was eaten by Jaws 50 years ago. I just moved to Martha's Vineyard where they filmed it, Amity Island, back in those days. I was a 12-year-old kid, and we found out they're making a movie. They said they need a lot of extras. They'll pay you 40 bucks a day to be in it, so we all signed up. And I got a call back from Spielberg. He was only 27. He's like, read these lines. I go, all this to be an extra? He goes, no, okay, fill the paperwork out. You have a speaking part. You're gonna have to join the union, SAG. So I ended up getting a speaking part. I didn't even know the name of the movie or what I was doing. Then later I found out I was gonna be dying in the movie, eaten by a shark. But I still live on Martha's Vineyard, Amity Island, where I was eaten 50 years ago. I run my dog on a beach where I got eaten. It's an Eggertown Oak Bluffs Bridge where the shark swims through. And I run a St. Bernard down there every day. But it was fun making the movie. But they filmed it up on Martha's Vineyard. And people are always like, were you afraid of the shark? It's like, they filmed that in May up there. They were trying to do it before the season got busy up there. And if you know New England, Martha's Vineyard, you don't want to swim there until like July at least. That water is cold. So people are like, were you afraid of the shark? No, I was afraid of freezing my 12-year-old ass off in the water.
Now, I know you also are a restaurateur, and you are no longer running the restaurant. But I know that your screen mom, Lee Fiero, would come into the restaurant. And what was that like, seeing her?
Yeah, Lee Fiero, she was a sweetie. She was kind of from the island. She did a lot of Broadway shows. And she was off island a lot, and so you bump into her once in a while. Like I did an interview with her on Good Morning America a couple of years ago. But a while back, it's like I was looking out in our restaurant, the Wharf in Eggertown. I go, holy shit, there's Lee Fiero, my mother in the movie. And I told the waitress I had this table. And I went down with a pad of paper like I'm a server. I go, okay, Lee. I didn't know her friend. It's two older ladies. And Lee Fiero's got her head buried in a menu. And I go, okay, ladies, what can I get for you? And her friend looks down and says, oh, can I get it? She starts ordering. And I go, before you go any further, can I ask you a personal odd question? And this lady, I don't know her. She's like, what? And also Lee Fiero heard me. And she goes, oh, yes, of course. What? I go, okay, it's a little odd. Tell me to go away if it's too strange. And she's like, well, what? I go, any chance do you believe in reincarnation? And her friend looks at me like, what the hell? And also Lee Fiero, her eyes light up. She knew it was me. She's like, oh, my God, I do. I go, because I think I died years ago, and you look like my mother in my previous life. And her friend looks at me like, what the hell? And all of a sudden Lee Fiero's like, oh my God, I had a son that died back in the 70s. She goes, how did you die? I'm like, I was only a little kid, but it was in the ocean. And she goes, well, did you drown? I go, no, I think I was killed. She's like, well, were you run over by a boat? I go, no, I think I was killed by an animal. And she goes, oh my God, any chance were you killed by a shark? I go, I was only 12, but I think I was eaten by a great white. And she goes, oh my God, you're my son. And she gets up and hugs me. And her friend's about to have a heart attack. And she goes to her friend, hey, we were in that movie years ago together. She was a sweet. I would bump into her once in a while. But Lee Fiero, and the lady that's died before me, Susan, her name in the movie, Chrissy. I never used to do signings. And for the last 8 years, she passed away last year, unfortunately. Chrissy, Susan in the movie. But every time we would meet up, she had me trained. She would write first victim and sign her name, and I would write second victim and sign my name. So got to know like my mother in the movie. She was a sweetie. Richard Dreyfuss and Chrissy, Susan. We would sign together all over the place. So something he did as a little kid. Always used to hide from, and then over the years doing signings, you got to meet up with these guys and have a good time all over the place, doing signings. So it's fun.
With it being 50 years last year, when you were filming the movie, you didn't expect it to be the first big summer blockbuster. It was just something to do.
Yeah, I guess the movie, they didn't want to spend much money on it. I guess the budget was like $3.5 million. and they're filming it on this little island. That's why a lot of people from the island are in it. You have you got Richard Dreyfuss, Roy Scheider, um, and Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, and Robert Shaw, the big characters. But most of the other ones are not that big of names. And then they didn't want to spend much on a director. It's like Spielberg, he was only 27, and he only did one other real movie before that. And they got him. And so basically, they filmed this movie. And back then in the 70s, before the internets and stuff, the movie, I gonna be in some movie and it came out finally, and we go to the movie theater. I watch it on the island. When we moved to Martha's Vineyard, the movie theater burnt down before I got there, and they used to show movies in the town hall. So in the movie where you see Quint come in and scratch on the chalkboard, the town hall, where they're having a meeting, right above that, they used to show movies for years above the town hall. So we watched it above the town hall. So when they were filming, we're watching the movie. It's like, oh, this scene here, that's right downstairs here where they filmed that part. And you point out, oh, there's my brother, here's my friend. It's like, there's the house we lived. And I'd be going, here's the house I died in, or look at the trees. There's no leaves on them because they filmed it so early. But never knew it was going to be a big thing. And then finally, like a year later, they show it on TV. And it's like, also, you got to check. What the hell is this in the mail? And I didn't know you got royalties. Like, you get a royalty check, like thousands of dollars. It's like, oh, this is pretty good. It's like, and then my brother lives in Europe. I'll get a text from him once in a while. Hey, good news. You just died on TV over here. It's like, because you get a little royalty check. They're not much now, but never knew it was. After the internet came around, it really started to explode because people would always mail me pictures and have me mail it back. And then you notice people are selling them on the internet. So I never used to do signings. So finally, it's like, I'm not mailing it back. I'll sit down and sign them. But then I started doing some signings. You meet up with real actors like Friday the 13th people. I do a lot with those guys, Larry, Jason Voorhees. And I never knew his character's name was Voorhees. And when I first started doing him, I'm going, the guy Larry, who's Jason Voorhees, in front. I go, look at this. People wearing hockey shirts with my name on it. He goes, you idiot. That's my character's name, Jason Voorhees. And so every time we sign together, they put us at the same table, the killer Voorhees and the Voorhees that was killed. So and then after doing signings, started doing like 4 a year. They fly you all over the world, and it's fun. You meet up with some real people that they love Jaws so much. Like some little girl's crying, or I don't know how many. I used to keep track. I think someone wanted an autograph on their arm, and then they got it tattooed. I was like, they got it tattooed, and then another time someone on their collarbone, and someone's kneecap in England. He had a Jaws logos all over him, and I had to sign in the shark's mouth, and he got it tattooed. So I was like, I used to keep count, but I think my name's tattooed on over 20 bodies. It's like, I always thought it's funny. So some people really love Jaws, and you give them such a high. I get a little high off of it too. So I travel around, meet up with some real actors, and have a good time. So I enjoy it.
I know you're on the internet at deadalexkintner.com.
Yeah.
What can people get off that site?
Well, a couple of years ago, I was down in Key West, and someone's like, they got a hold of me. He runs Jaws 50th Club. There's a lot of internet clubs. And he's like, can I put a website together for you? I go, I was thinking about doing that. I go, how much you guys charge? Because he has a business. And he goes, let me try it. And it's like, I'm a big fan. I'm like, it's a scam. But he put something together. And the deadalexkintner.com. And I go, you want some information? And you go on there. He knew everything, where I'm born, everything I've done. And then there's graphs, photos, coffee cups, T-shirts. And then you push a button, it will say bio, where I'm born. Then you hit a little arrow, and it will show the whole scene of me dying. You watch the review of me on the raft. So it's funny how he put together this thing on the deadalexkintner.com, and it's showing me the whole scene of me dying, begging to go in the water, and then it's just everything I've done. It's like he knows more about me than I know. It's like, but he's really nice. He designed that raft, and
I know I've read that it was fun to be on the set, except for Robert Shaw, who was basically, go away, kid, you bother me.
well, like Spielberg was pretty young. He was only 27, and they're filming that up on Martha's Vineyard in the spring. It's cold up there that time of the year, and um, oh, he felt so bad. All these little kids are freezing their little butts off in the water. So Spielberg's like, let's have some cookouts and baseball games. And you'd be out there with Roy Snyder, Richard Dreyfuss, cameraman playing baseball with a bunch of kids and having a cookout. We look over, we're getting a hamburger, and we go to the guy cooking. We go, we're just little kids. We go, who's that guy over there? And we point over to the fence, and this guy's sitting over there, and he's far away from everyone. They go, oh, he's one of the big actors in this. And we don't know any actors. We're 12-year-old kids, and they go, yeah, that's Robert Shaw. He's a big character in this. So we were a bunch of kids. It's like, oh, let's go say hi. And we run over. Hey, how you doing? And he sounded just like in the movie. He goes, and you could smell booze before you got there. And he sounded just like, he's like, get away from me, you little shits. He wanted nothing to do with kids. He's like, you little shits, get away from me. And it's a small island, and they redid the whole script from the book. So every day in the spring, it's a quiet island. You see all the actors. They'd be walking down the streets with rewritten scripts and then reading it, trying to memorize it before they're filming that day. And we would be little kids and like, oh, here comes that guy that was calling us little shit. So we're in between the buildings and we jump out. Hey, Mr. Shaw, how you doing? He looks over and he's like, before you can say anything, you run right back down the alley. It's like, okay, you're going to call us little shits? We're going to be a pain in your ass. It's like, it's always fun. You're little kids. But we knew where they stored the shark. We used to break in and climb all over the shark at nighttime. And you have the left side, the right side. And Joe Alves, who kind of put that whole thing together. Before, I never did signings. And did one with him in Tampa. He had a book that came out, how the shark was broken all the time. And he did a Q&A with me. And he's reading, people asking questions about the book. And it's like, yeah, the shark would break down for 2 weeks at a time. And it never worked. And then I had the microphone. Before I got to know him, I go, well, I got to come out and tell the truth. We were just little kids, but we used to break in and climb all over that shark at nighttime. So maybe that's why it didn't work. And he looked over like he wanted to kill me. And I see him a lot now. He was up on the island this summer at the Jaws 50th. And I saw him. I go, Joe, how you doing? You bring a shark? I'm bored. I need something to play with. He's like, he knows me now. He's like, get away from me, you idiot. It's like, so it's got to know those guys over the years. It's fun. Like Spielberg he did a lot of stuff for the 50th. And I was going to let him, he gave us stuff when we were kids, T-shirts, and done interviews and documentaries with him. And I guess there's another one coming out about me, and a little to do with Jaws too, but it's how does some little kid in a movie for just a minute, people still know him all over, because I'll be in England, people are like, it's Alex Kintner over there, I'm in the movie for 1 minute, and with the internet now, people, I don't look like the little kid on the raft anymore, but this documentary, they go, oh, we wanted, the start of the documentary, it's about to come out, he goes, we're going to show you going out on the raft, the yellow raft with the red shorts on. Can we do that scene again 50 years later? And they got bathing suit with the red shorts and the raft up on Martha's Vineyard. So at the beginning of that, they're going to show me swimming out in the movie. And then I did it this past summer. It's a 60-year-old jumping in the water with red shorts on with the raft swimming out. So I thought that was funny. It's like, but that's...
Jeffrey, thank you for taking a few moments with GeekyKOOL.com.
I'm glad. Hopefully it all worked out and everyone have a jawsome day out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is I got telling you.